And this is State of the Union. Joining me now, Tim Tetz, Legislative Director of the American Legion, and Paul Rieckhoff, Founder and Executive Director of Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America. Thank you both for joining us. I appreciate it. Let me just give you the big, broad brush question. If you're a veteran coming home today, what is the biggest problem you face?
Well, for us right now, it's unemployment. The unemployment rate for veterans of Iraq and Afghanistan officially is at 11%. When we talk to IAVA members, it's 20%. So that's the #1 issue facing us right now. This economy is hitting them very hard. They've been overseas repeatedly. Their families have been stretched, and they're coming home to a really tough job market. We also need to connect with the American people. I mean, we're facing an unprecedented level of disconnection. If you think about Memorial Day, most Americans are going to go to the beach. We're going to go to Arlington Cemetery. So it really reveals the divide that exists between the military and our veterans community and the rest of the American public. So we need them to be engaged not just on Memorial Day, not just July 4th, not just Veterans Day, but a constant and consistent commitment to this generation of warriors coming home, because they do have employment challenges, they've got education challenges, they've got serious health care challenges, and this town in Washington hasn't done enough. So we hope the momentum behind Osama bin Laden that everybody felt and that tremendous pride can carry over into the coming months and coming years, because our warriors need it.
Do you think it's possible that employers, because I find it astonishing that more employers, that the unemployment rate, particularly among young veterans, is so high, far higher than the general population. Do you think it's possible they're a little afraid to hire a vet?
I think there's a couple of problems, and when we look at the number of unemployed veterans, there's a larger number of unemployed veterans in that 35 and 50 age category. You know, those young percentage-wise is horrible, but the biggest percentage, over 500,000 of those unemployed veterans, are those older ones.
It's a bad economy, and it's
horrible economy, and they're coming back and saying, okay, I just served my country, or I served my country in the first Persian Gulf. I now find myself jobless. What can I do to get myself back in that? And so, as we sit here and look at this, and we look at today's problems, we have to realize that today's problems also deal with previous war periods, and we can't forget those who previously served and service them while we're trying to take care of the new veterans, because those are the ones that we need to overall impact.
Why are young vets not signing up at the VA, do you think?
I think the VA's got a serious outreach problem. Only 47% of Iraq and Afghanistan veterans are enrolled in the VA. The average age of our members is 28 years old. So I think the VA's got to realign their entire business model. They've got to find these veterans where they are. They've got to use social media. They've got to use Facebook and Twitter more aggressively than they are right now, and advertise their products. Most people aren't aware of their GI Bill benefits. They don't know about VA home loan opportunities. VA has great products and services to offer, but they're having a really hard time finding them. So that's why they need to partner more aggressively with groups like ours and other organizations at the local level to push out their resources and connect with those vets.
How do you think the VA is doing at this point in terms of getting benefits in some reasonable time to those who have signed up?
Doing horribly. They're atrocious. I mean, you've got courts,
and we could have said that 10 years ago, right?
OIG saying they're doing atrocious, and we've said it. And we've stood before congressional committees and said, we've got to fix it. And when they asked for more people, we said, absolutely, let's get them more people. When they asked for more money, we said, get them more money.
And they got
all that.
Yeah.
And we sat there and said, give them everything they need, because they're working with the veterans and making it happen. Now, years later, on the backside, they're saying, well, we need to break the back of this backlog. Time has come for them to make that happen, and we need to basically start all over, stop with this one way of doing it the way we did it in the 60s, and revamp the whole process to fix this.
If you apply right now for disability benefits and you're a young vet coming back from Iraq, Afghanistan, the average wait time is 6 months. That's unacceptable.
To get any kind of veterans
disability
benefits.
payments,
Right.
okay, to get your process.
And they are living on
if
what?
If you appeal, it resets to 2 years. So the system is broken. The most important thing that we need to focus on is the customer service, the customer satisfaction of those veterans of all generations coming home. And the customer saying this isn't working. So we need the president to be much more aggressive. We need Congress to come together and solve this problem once and for all. Every VA secretary comes in and says, I'm going to break the backlog. And every VA secretary leaves and says, the next guy's got to break the backlog. It hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
I think people don't get it. It's kind of the same story we heard 15 years ago. It's the same story we heard coming out of Vietnam. General Shinseki is I think we can all agree, an incredible guy, a soldier. And if he can't do it, isn't it time just to sort of light a fuse and say, start from scratch?
You're dealing with some tremendous leaders, General Corelli, General Shinseki, who have made it work, and we started from nothing and we're going somewhere. But when you sit there and look at a transitioning service member who their goal is to get benefits in 295 days after separation, and their reality was 404 days, that's over a year where that person is sitting there waiting for anything. And that's why you have the 14,000 calls to the hotline for suicides. That's why you have these people who are just absolutely pulling their hair out and saying, what do I do? That become a burden, that their families are like, this isn't the person who came home. That's what we have to address. Those are the issues that we have to do. They're doing a lot of work at the top, but it's not working at the lower level yet.
It has improved, but we've got a long way to go. And we've never had so many people.
Have a lot of time.
No, we don't. The window's
They're
closing.
coming home in droves.
They're coming home in droves, and the window's closing. We're worried the American public's attention and the political community's attention is going to shift in the coming years. And the bottom line is the VA can't do it alone. If only 47% of my generation is enrolled, we need help. We need the private sector to get involved. We need local communities to get involved. And we need the president to communicate a message that the VA is not our only resource. They are going to be a part of the solution and a critical part of the solution. But we need everybody else involved, too. They can't just sit back on their couch and say, hey, VA's got it covered.
Tell me both of you, what your number one wish for. I'm sitting at home watching this. What do you want them to do?
We want every single American to think about Memorial Day and get involved. Get involved every single day about veterans. Even if you don't have someone in your family, understand that it's your moral obligation. It's our country's sacred obligation. Doesn't matter what party you're from or who you vote for, we all have to take care of the men and women coming home. And they need your help right now. You supported them when they were over there. You've got to support them now that they're coming home.
Or one step further is that everyone sees a veteran or those serving. You go through the airport and you see someone serving. Take one moment, one kindness out of your heart, and say to them and shake their hand and say, thank you for serving. Because it's going to matter to those of us who aren't wearing the uniform because we're going to see it, and it's going to matter to that person who's wearing the uniform.
And just real quickly, I want both of you to complete this sentence for me. For veterans, I would most like to see President Obama
deliver on our promise to care and never turn your back on them.
Ask the American public to help. Ask the American public to do something, to get involved. And most urgently, what we need is employment. We need jobs. He can drive that message home, start it on Memorial Day, carry it through the entire year, and stand with us in our goal to lower the veteran unemployment rate by Veterans Day. 11/11/11 is Veterans Day. We want to lower the veterans unemployment rate by that day, and he can help.
Bully Pulpit.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Thank you both so much. I appreciate your coming.
Thank you.